Is Jeffrey coming tonight? George?
No, he's not.
Did you get him?
Yes, all signed up. He's paid for.
Hello, George.
Hello.
Thank you, George, for setting up that joint meeting that's happening Thursday.
You bet. I think that'll be fun.
Thank you. Yes.
And Joe Kovach is here too. I came into the meeting, so.
Hi there, Joe. Okay, Oscar's got his hammer.
Welcome to our meeting, the Toast Celebration. The club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. George, could you help us out with an American flag?
There we go.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the
United States of America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all. And with that, I introduce the Toastmaster. That's me. So I'm excited. Wow, I popped right out of that other person, whatever that was. Scary. But that's kind of space stuff, right? Freaky creatures. There. I'm a good guy. So look at the agenda. Our word is quasi. And I don't know if I have the right to introduce it, but I wanted to say we are a quasi Toastmaster Club. We're more than a quasi. We're actually a real club. Quasar? Is it quasi? No, it's seemingly apparent, but not really. So quasi. But we were quasi a long time until now we became a real club, weren't we? For a year or more. Good. With that, I want to go through a roll. Yes.
Another word is quasar.
See that thing behind me? That's a quasar.
Oh.
It's
good.
bright and beautiful, but has black holes.
Oh, good. No, let's go through the roles right now. Do we have a grammarian?
I am the grammarian.
Oh, Lou.
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry. I'm not I'm visiting my son here, but
yeah. But you got the glasses on. I guess you've been partying last night.
So I cannot see well with the sun, so I had to wear my.
Oh, I thought you were covering up your bloodshot eyes.
Supposed to be but you know, I'm gonna make an exception.
You look beautiful anyway.
Thank you.
So, okay, well, thank you. Could you tell us what your role is during the meeting?
Sure. I'm going to be counting your odds and ends, plushes, double plushes, fillers. And I'm also going to give you the word of the day. What I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ping the word of the day and the definition, and also give you a sentence. Just bear with me 1 second. I apologize. All right. Just gonna do the copy. The word of the day is stasis, and that is. I apologize. It's spelled STASIS, which is the period of a state of inactivity. For example, like in a sentence with my life was in the stasis during the lockdown. So stasis is a state where everything stays stagnant, stays the same. That is the word of the day. Any questions?
No, that sounds great. Stasis. Stasis, good. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
okay.
I pinged it. Oh yes, it's there.
And our timer? Do we have our timer?
Oh, no.
Could you explain your role, please?
My role is to keep track of the time for assigning speakers, table topic participants, and evaluators. The speeches today may vary. Those that are 5 to 7 minutes will receive the green card at 5 minutes. the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7. For table topics, the qualifying time is 1 to 2 minutes. The green card will be displayed at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1.5, and the red card at 2 minutes. For evaluations, which are 2 to 3 minutes, the green card will be displayed at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5, and red card at 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. And in addition, we do have a general evaluator today. That's going to be Margaret. Are you going to be doing a quiz at the end, or just give us a quick rundown of your role?
I think we have 3 words of the day. Quasi, quasar, and spacig.
Stasis.
Stasis. I wrote it down. It looks like a G.
The C is silent.
Yeah. Okay. So any of those 3 get
Oh,
counted.
Margaret, you're muted if you're trying to speak.
Oh, no wonder you couldn't hear me. I will be introducing the evaluation team. I have a whole team of people to help me evaluate this meeting. I have 2 speech evaluators. I have the timer who just told you what they're doing, and a grammarian who's told you what she's doing, and we have a quiz master, Sandy, and she's going to ask us some questions, so you got to stay alert. And then we're just going to wrap it up. I'll evaluate anything that wasn't evaluated. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. And now I have the privilege of introducing our Energizer. Go ahead, George.
I was going to suggest that we have some guests. Would you?
Oh, that sounds good. Yes, we would love to introduce our guests. So let's see, starting with, where are all our guests here? Well, Randall is a good, steady guest. Could you introduce yourself? And could you mention about your joint meeting?
Hello, I'm Randall Crosby, and this is at least my 3rd visit to your club. So starting to feel like family, and I love your club. You folks are always fun and keep things moving along nicely in the meeting. And thanks to George Hazard's recommendation, Thursday at 12 noon, my club, the Toast of St. Johns County here in St. Augustine, Florida, is doing a joint meeting with Celebration Club, which is not this club. And I was a little confused about that, by the way, but the other Celebration who meets...
Celebration Speakeasy, it's called. It meets over at Team Disney.
I'm learning. Celebration Speakeasy. We are having our meeting Thursday at 12 noon. So, and Oscar has graciously offered to be the Toastmaster.
And it's the same Zoom, thanks to George, as this one. So if you want to add, it's the same number. So thank you, George, for making that possible.
Yes. And since
were there any other or other guests there?
Yeah, I'm Joe Kovac from Toastability Toastmasters in Denver, Colorado, and I'm a blind Toastmaster, president of my club, and good to be here. And looking forward to another good Toastmasters meeting, hearing good speeches and good evaluations. And
good. Well, thank you, Joe, for coming back. And Marina, could you tell a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm Marina and try to improve my English. I'm first time here. Try to understand what's going on. And so far, I don't understand anything, but I'm trying. Yeah, so far so good. It's interesting, and yeah, I hope I will be better and can, I don't know, try to speak something or explain you something.
Okay. What is your mother tongue? Where are you from? What's your mother tongue?
I'm originally from Russia.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's good. So we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Well, good. So welcome everybody. And Paco, could you say a little bit about yourself?
Now, Paco is a member.
Oh yeah, well, we don't see him that often. Everybody know Paco. So
Let me tell you this. I can tell about Lou. She's a new person.
yeah, she's a member too.
Oh, she's a member.
Yes, she's a member too.
Surprise,
From New York.
surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Oh wow. And we got so good. We got the whole family together here.
Yeah.
Felicia, welcome.
Hey, Felicia.
Good. Well, with that, I would love to jump right into our program, and
Be right back.
we have an energizer here. That's what we want to do, and it's going to be given by both Jana Banana and Jason Banana. No, he's not a banana. Jana Banana and Jason. So let's turn it over to them to get us energized.
Why are we not showing up?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, can you see anything yet? Do you have anything on your screen?
Not yet. It's still buffering
It
or
says you
loading.
started to share screen.
All right.
Jason, try stopping the share screen and then start again and click the button down at the bottom that says about for better video.
Ah, got it. Uh-oh.
I didn't say that would work.
I'm gonna trust you on that.
Here we go.
Have you got anything? All right.
Maybe.
Well, we're gonna skip that. So,
Is that a white hole?
did you say a light bulb?
A white hole instead of a black hole.
All right.
All right, so then everybody have a laser fight.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Perfect. So part of my Energizer moment today was going to be talking about how we can all start. Part of Toastmasters is supporting each other and getting on board with just everyone promoting each other, because that's what we do in our clubs, and we help each other get better. And I know every meeting George has been putting our Toastmaster meetings up on YouTube so that we could kind of spread the word and grow our club and get more people involved so that we can continue to grow and get better. So this is a galactic moment that Jana and I had terrorizing our
I know
neighbors.
nothing about Star Wars. So for us to come up with costumes straight out of our closets, this is pretty good. Hey, how's that Death Maul makeup coming, honey?
Darth Maul.
Oh,
Coming great.
actually, these were my Bob Marley dreads that I got while I was on vacation in Jamaica. What?
Alrighty, Mom.
Come on. Ooh. I don't like putting yellow makeup on. See how it doesn't look good.
You look a little jaundiced, baby.
I do. I look a little jaundiced. Ah.
You are my sunshine, my
little
only sunshine.
jaundiced.
That's my real. We should get you to the doctor and check your liver. Welcome to the Force.
We're on the dark side. We didn't even know what that meant, to be honest with you. We signed up for the Star Wars 5K, and when it said dark or light, we thought that meant what color of t-shirt.
Truthfully, I have watched all the Star Wars. So the point is showing up and being there for each other and just supporting each other. And I love what our guest, hold on, stop share. I love what Marina said about just showing up. And is this your first meeting, Marina? You can just nod your head. Can you hear me, Marina?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, it's my first meeting with you guys.
Well, part of it is just showing up. So thank you so much for just coming, and hopefully you're all feeling energized with that video clip. And go to George's YouTube page, go to Jana's YouTube page, subscribe, and let's start spreading the word about each other. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful little energizer. Now we're all perked up. We're coming out of space again, I assume. And we're going to jump right into our speakers. Now we have the privilege today of Alex Kenny, who's going to be speaking. And if you could give us a little synopsis of what you're going to be speaking about, you could just introduce yourself. I will turn it over to Alex, and he's going to be doing a 5 to 7 minute speech.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Alexander Kenny. Thank you, Sir Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster members. Tonight I'm going to be speaking about outer space as well as inner space. So with that, here we go. And I am going to be attempting to share some slides with you as well. So hopefully this works. So with that, off we go. Let me share this with you. And I'm going to start with this one. Can you see that?
Yes.
Can everyone see that? Excellent. So it's just something funny. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Jim and Linda Kenny, their universes collided for a 5th time and gave birth to a new galaxy, me. Each of us is a host of a totally unique universe containing thousands of galaxies consisting of billions of stars in each. I make this comparison due to the resemblance of cosmic bodies in our own faculties. Crab nebulas that resemble our brain activities. Again. As well as helix nebulas that resemble our own eyes. This is so much harder doing it on a phone. That is a helix nebula that resembles our own eyes. Chakras that vibrate on the same megahertz frequencies of our planets we are familiar with, and some lesser known. Many religions speak of aliens in their texts and in ancient record keepings such as hieroglyphics. I'm gonna put this aside for a second. All right, let me get into this. So the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Vedic text, speaks of aliens. They speak of aliens visiting. They speak of the use of soma, a cosmic drink that is made from outer worldly ingredients. They speak of other worlds, such as Indra, another universe, another world in another universe. And like I said, the use of soma beverage made with otherworldly ingredients. Even octopuses have tested positive for an unknown alien DNA. Bill Hicks speaks in his bit or his sketch called "It's Only a Ride." He uses the terms inner and outer space and how we can explore those together. If you think about the use of mathematics as they play a heavy role in space exploration, you start to realize that at this time, I didn't realize I was clicking a pen. We start to realize that at this point in our society, in regards to math, we've done everything from, we've subtracted from each other, we've divided as people, and we've only multiplied chaos or worse. We never talk about the idea of adding to our lives. That's not a commonplace thing to talk about. It's not a very comfortable thing to say, I need to add this to my life. Because when we bring up the term add, we think about adding materialistically versus spiritually or extraterrestrially. We think about the idea that if we add something to our lives, we are just bringing another bill into our world. When the best thing about adding love and expanding our own universes, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And as I stated before, everyone's world is vastly different. Even your partner's world is vastly different because we're all wired differently. So that makes up our own universes, our own galaxies, our own celestial bodies in our inner space. A couple of years ago, I got into audio hypnosis. And I got into it in the cheap method. I started using YouTube. And it worked wonderfully. It was great. It was probably the greatest thing in the world that I ever discovered. And I highly recommend it. That to me was, for lack of a better expression, cosmic. It was so different. It was such a ride that you couldn't capture that in any other world. You could call it a high, a natural high. You could call it, like I said, like taking a trip to outer space. And it was free. It didn't cost me anything unless I bought the $9.99 subscription, but I didn't. And the greatest thing is you can find so many of these free audio hypnosis programs on YouTube and other places. They do bring such a cosmic scientific world to you. And as we know, our outer world reflects our inner world. Well, let's take that even further. Our outer world, as well as our inner world, can vastly influence our outer space at the same time. And that's, as science fiction as that is, it's not. It's reality. And it's probably the greatest trip we could go on without losing our minds, without going outside of ourselves, but at the same time going inside of ourselves. So that's pretty cool. It's adding love for yourself to expand your universe. And that's, as a child, to me, that was pinnacle. You're like, I want to go to outer space. You can go to outer space, metaphorically. And it's such a great thing to be able to explore that, to bring that science fiction to your world. And it doesn't, it's where science fiction meets reality. It's great. I think it's the greatest gift you can give yourself. You honestly can go boldly where no man has gone before. Nanu, signing off. Awesome. I'm done.
Unmute. Hi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was in inner space, I guess, where I had to come back.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. You sent me far, far away, but I'm back. Well, thank you very much. It's wonderful to have you part of our club and have that perspective to open our minds to going inside, right, and finding new and undiscovered worlds. With that, we move on to someone else who's going to be joining talking about space travel, or in the space category. It'll be Thomas Morton. I'm going to let him introduce his topic and himself. And with that, I turn it over to him. Thomas.
Thank you, Oscar. My fellow Toastmasters, when I think about space, it's more than the heavens above. It's more than the area around you. In fact, we can all know the words a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I actually heard these words that meant something to me. The words that I heard were space, the final frontier, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out life and new civilizations, to go where no one has gone before. Now, as you may or may not know, that is from a TV series, Star Trek. This was the show that introduced me to the whole sci-fi genre. It showed me that there was much more than just carbon-based life forms, more than just humans, more than just being an individual. It was more about being a team and working around other things. And the ability to go from one place to another, to explore new areas, to explore and experience new citizenships, new civilizations, new technology, it was mind-boggling to me. And with that, it inspired me to start watching some of the other science fiction genre. You gotta love Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica and Doctor Who. The Black Hole was a great science fiction movie, if you haven't seen that, from back in the 80s. And so these really intrigued me. And then I was introduced to, of course, my favorite one, Star Wars. Now, Star Wars, unlike Star Trek, it had a little bit of variety. It was a different style. It actually was more of a Western style film, which, when you consider it's about space, it's about the future, but it has a Western undertone. And that's what really kind of got me interested in it. And it was, even though they're different universes, so to say, they had a lot of similarities. They both invoked on friendship. They both invoked that to respect others, to be able to appreciate other life forms, whether it's carbon-based, whether it's an artificial life, such as robots or, different alien forms that we may not be used to. We could still learn something from these various beings, various sentient beings. And to me, that was an interesting concept. And another thing that Star Wars taught me is it was about the importance of friendship and being patient, and also the dangers of being afraid. One would think that it would be hard to find any philosophy or any logic in a television show or a movie or something that was meant to entertain us. But some of the things that I've learned from Star Wars is to embrace what makes you stand apart from others, to be able to be loyal to your friends, to be able to realize that the world sees things differently than you do. Also, it's never too late to turn things around. You've got to be able to overcome the fear within yourself. And if you say, I've got a bad feeling about this, you've already impacted what's going to happen. And yes, I got this from a movie. I've got these from TV shows. Every life has value. And again, whether it's carbon-based, whether it's some sort of sentient being, these shows have taught me to appreciate and respect them. Star Wars also taught me to always repay your debts and to keep your mind open to new possibilities, and that a little hope goes a long way. Amazing. From a movie that was meant as entertainment, but it has become so much more to me because of that. And like I said, I like Star Wars. I like Star Trek. I like the science fiction genre. I'm one of the few fans that can appreciate one and all of them because they have a lot of similarities. Going back to Star Trek, I mean, even things that you could learn from Star Trek, of course, if you're going to travel, you got to go where no one's gone before. Star Trek also taught me that the needs of many outweigh the few, or possibly even the one. Star Trek taught me that expressing your emotions is a healthy thing. Star Wars kind of teaches that too as well, depending on which side of the Force you're on. The Force is within all of us. If you are with the light side, you are more of a positive thing. The dark side can kind of focus more on negative things or just not really have any functions, just kind of being kind of anarchy type of philosophy. Also, you know, with Star Trek, it taught me that no matter how long a job will take, overestimate it. You'll do a better job, and your supervisor, your captain, or whoever will be impressed and be able to move around that. Something else Star Trek taught me was that wearing red can make you a target. If you're looking to stand out, red's a good option. If you're not looking to stand out, maybe you should step aside, maybe not wear something as bright, maybe not wear something that will bring attention to you. Try to become a common factor. If you don't know what to say, you can pause. And that can help mentally so that you don't just blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind. And the other thing that Star Trek taught me is that the most powerful force in the universe is friendship. You look at the relationship that that Spock had with Captain Kirk. Two different species, two totally different mindsets, but they were able to oversee that. They were able to become friends and become close because of their differences. All of this from a science fiction environment. And lastly, I wanted to kind of focus on Doctor Who. Doctor Who taught me some things as well. You know, what you want to try to do is see humor in every situation. It may actually help you out. Being scared can actually be a superpower. You should never be cruel or be cowardly. And if you are, be prepared to make amends. The only way that you can live in peace is to forgive. And in conclusion, I'm going to leave you with two thoughts. From Doctor Who, the first thought he said was, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone that was unimportant. Secondly, it was Rose that said, you don't just give up. You don't just let things happen. You make a stand. You say no. You have the guts to do what's right when everyone else runs away. Hopefully, these can incite you to experience you to be a better person, to be a more celestial being. And it's kind of funny that these two speeches kind of even correlate with each other, and that was totally unplanned. But with that, I would like to say, live long and prosper. May the force be with you, and Nanu Nanu.
Wow, that was a lot. We got a lot of wisdom right there, poof, right in our face. Like, you're going to have to absorb that. You could have changed us, but thank you for that very, very much. And now we have the opportunity to get our timers report on both speeches. Let's go to our timer.
Speaker number 1, Alexander, 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Speaker number 2, Tom, 8 minutes.
Okay, well, they're both over, but both great speeches. You know, we totally forgive them and love them. Nandi. So, and now, continuing our program, we're going to go into, I would say we should do our table topics first before the evaluation, give the evaluator time to think it through. And today our table topic master is that our friend Sandy?
See.
Yes.
Nano. We're going to have intergalactic table topics. Yay! I think that I would like to ask Jason the first one. Jason, I want you to pick someone other than Jana and pick a laser fight with them.
I'm going to pick a laser fight with someone on the screen in the
Yes. Yep.
A physical laser fight, or I'm going to say why I'm going to pick a laser fight with them.
That's up to you. Yeah, I'd say a physical one would be more fun.
All right. Well, then I think I would take the person with the most experience. And Alex, I think probably had some laser fights before. Did you say laser fights?
Yes. Yes, laser fight.
Because lasers are this or lightsabers?
Laser swords. The swords.
Oh, I should have picked Tom because he actually has a lightsaber. I picked someone with too much experience.
Too much
So in
anger.
this lesson, I would
Okay.
The llama behind you is not very supportive. She's like, oh my gosh. Jason.
Okay, let's see. Who's next? I think it's Felicia. Are you there?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. If you were a legend with a superpower, what would your power be?
If I was a legend with a superpower. If I was a legend with a superpower, my superpower would be peace and love, to make everyone more peaceful and loving towards one another, diminishing hate from this world. That would be my superpower.
Amen, sister. I'm right there with you. Okay. Who am I going to pick? George. Do you consider yourself a kamikaze pilot or a quasar beam of light?
Oh, what a decision. A kamikaze pilot or quasar. You know, this thing behind me is a quasar.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a quasi-quasar. with status. A quasar. I don't know if you know what a quasar is, but it is supposedly the brightest thing in the universe. Tom and Alex, shake your head yes if I'm right. Okay. But also, right there in the middle are black holes. So that a black hole is something that's so dense that it just sucks light. Light can't even escape from a black hole. That's how powerful a black hole is. Now you're asking me.
Which one are you?
Yeah, oh my goodness. I don't know how I could be anything but this quasar, a beam of light, but you get too close and you'll get sucked into a black hole.
Oh, poor Martha. Okay. As you can see, I'm sitting on Spaceship Cosmos. Miriam, if you had your own spaceship, what would the name be?
Oh, wow. You know, I think you basically read my mind, because that's something I always wanted to have and be in possession of since I was a kid, because I was so fascinated with space, on the cosmos. And name, definitely, I did not think about it before, but now it's a good time. I would call it Quasar. You know, it's something that could not only just go at a very high speed and moving from galaxy to another or from universe to another, but also spreading light, love, and a celestial bright light. Yeah, I would call it a quasar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have time for more? Anybody? Is there still time?
Sure. Let's see. We're at 7:24. I'd say give it another one. Yes, sure.
This one's for Pilar. She's giving me that look, yeah. Press the Q. There you go.
All right.
So if you were able to travel to your own universe, what would you name it?
My universe. Well, I'm already in my universe, and I will name it Toastmaster. We are the outer space. It's the Toastmasters. This is my universe. I always wanted to be among people that develop their skills of public speaking, to communicate, to share the love, to share their thoughts, to grow their mind. And I'm there. What else I can ask? I'm already out of space with those crazy minds and bodies and words. Thank you, Sandy. Bravo.
Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Well, thank you so much.
No,
With
no,
that, I have the privilege of giving control of the meeting to our general evaluator. That's going to be Margaret Kenkelon. Well, Margaret, with that, it's your show. Margaret Kenkelon with her evaluation team.
Okay, now I can talk. First of all, let's get the timing for the table topics, please. Where's my
Table topics, number 1, Jason, 26 seconds. Number 2, Felicia, 31 seconds. Number 3, George, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Number 4, Marian, 53 seconds. Number 5, Pilar, 36 seconds.
George, are we voting on table topics? There was one that went under, I think.
Nope. Oh yeah, there was one.
Under 30 seconds, are you saying?
Yes, there was one.
Well, we weren't
Jason.
sure when to start the timer for Jason, so I think you should include him too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, this is tough.
Who's up next?
It's me.
Okay.
Okay. For evaluating Alex is Jana. Jana, you're up.
Yay! Alex, I don't know how you do it. For somebody who is not a big sci-fi fan, you seem to suck me in to your inner world. That's exactly where I went. I felt like I dove right into Alex's world, and I got a little glimpse of what it was like to be inside of Alex. In fact, at one point, you said, I'm going to take you on the greatest trip, and I almost felt like that's where we were going, is on some type of trip. Did the rest of you feel that way, that we were going on some sort of trip? But it was a good one, because what you did is you took us on this hypnotic, cosmic ride. I loved that phrase. And you related it to your inner world. You connected it to some sort of spirituality somehow. And I absolutely loved that, because you brought in the audience, people like me, by putting pictures, which you called holographics, of the eyeball. I loved that. You also brought me in by referencing the book, the Gita. I loved that. That's how you bring people like me who aren't big sci-fi fans, and you stuck me into your world. Now, here's a couple things that I think you could work on. A, you have a tendency to not look at the camera. So that's one thing. B, you're clicking your pen, which I think you realized halfway through.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
but then you caught it, and so then you corrected yourself. And so I'm going to give you a little grace on that one. And the last thing is I wrote down that, what else did I write down? I thought you did a really great job, honestly. And oh, here's the last thing I wanted you to think about is I want you to think about the intention of your speech. Because did you have a purpose for giving the speech? You gave us a great story, and you, like I said, you sucked me in, and I was listening the entire time. But at the end, I thought, what was the actual reason of why he was telling us this? Was it to give us what it's like to be Alex, what he's feeling? Is it to educate us? What exactly is the purpose? So I think if you have that in mind when you're writing your speech, it will kind of help the development, and it will help us understand as listeners. Other than that, you are really coming along as a speaker, and I am so happy to witness it. Thank you so much. Nanu.
Nano.
Thank you, Jana. And now, evaluating Thomas, is Oscar? Is that right?
Sure.
Oh,
I know. I know. I'm a big part of the show, but I jump in where it's needed. You know, Poof, there I am. There's Oscar. Well, and I'm happy to do it because Thomas, to me, is a dear friend who's been part of this family right from the beginning. And he truly is a passionate lover of Star Wars, Star Trek, and all of those space shows. What I get is there's so much passion that he has seen so many things that have positively impacted his life from these shows. I mean, he goes on, of course, he talks about the final frontier, you know, to appreciate everything. All life has value. To repay debt, a little hope goes a long way. The needs of the many outweigh those of the few. Stand apart if you want, or step back if you, or wear red if you want to stand out. Be loyal. And pause. He's almost threw in a Toastmaster rule. If you don't know what to say, think before you speak. Different species getting along. And then he talked about Star Wars and Star Trek and how they're different. And one is almost like a Western. And then Doctor Who, that has humor and everything, forgive and peace. And no one is unimportant. Stand up for what is right. And so it all is so encompassing that you just see how much is in these. Now, the opportunity is maybe to uncover where all this comes from. Because actually, I don't know the whole history, but I know that Star Wars was written or based off of some Chinese, or not Japanese, person who was kind of a spiritual master. So there is all of that to talk about, that what is the underlying strength of these scripts and stories. But what I would suggest as an opportunity as well would be to relate these, how they have helped him and made a difference in his life. Tell a story about his life, how he's taken all these values, all these ideas, all these principles, and put them in his life. And tell a story of how that made a difference for him. Because underlying all that is that this has been so impactful and made such a difference, and the importance of it, not just a fun little show to watch, but it's a teacher. And that could be in the summary as well. I really liked what you said. I'm not a Star Trek, Star Wars fan, but I've been around a lot of people, and it's just like when you take children to the park, everything becomes brighter and more alive. So thank you for giving us that, and makes me want to go out and watch more Star Trek and Star Wars type movies and get the inner value so that I can have a better life. Thank you, Madam Evaluator, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Oscar. That was a good evaluation. And now can I have our timers report, Ms. Martha?
Evaluator number 1, Jana, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Evaluator number 2, Oscar, 2 minutes, 59 seconds.
Okay, both of them qualify. Okay, let's vote. And let's see, we need our grammarians report from Lou. Where is she?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my God. I was so into your guys' message. It was like spectacular. To be honest, I didn't hear any and clutches or anything like that. So, but I'm just gonna go over the list. And for the speakers, I have Alex and Thomas, and they did a wonderful job. I was so into your story, and I didn't hear anything, to be honest, about any violations of the and double clutches or anything like that. You guys did great. And for the table topics, I have Jason, Felicia, George, Medium, Pilar, Margaret, and all of you did wonderful. And for the evaluators, I have Jenna and Oscar, the same. I didn't hear any or double so's or any double clutches. You guys did great. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. And our quiz master for tonight is Sandy. Oh my
Yes, it is.
That's horrible. I don't know if I can do this.
Oh, I don't know either. When is it too dangerous to go solo? When it is too dangerous to go solo, what do you take with you?
Wookie.
Woohoo! What does a Helix Nebula represent? Did I hear an answer? I saw one.
Me.
Okay. What is a soma? Am I saying that right? Alex, I can't hear you. You're on.
It's a beverage made from outer-worldly ingredients, including moon dust.
Oh. Let's see. What genre was Thomas introduced to?
Sci-fi.
What movies did he watch?
Star Trek, Star Wars, and I forgot the other one. Other ones.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah, there you go.
Mork and Mindy, Buck Rogers.
Stargate.
Mork and Mindy, Nanu. I can't do that. What did he learn from watching sci-fi?
Be an awesome dude.
What didn't he learn?
There's a list, so you can pick one.
How to tie his shoes, how to repay his debts, power of friendship, love, fear is the enemy.
Yep.
Teamwork.
To pause to think when he's talking.
To wear red.
Thank you, Dr. Spock.
How to stand out and not stand out.
If you're gonna travel, where are you gonna travel to?
Inward.
Places no one's gone before.
Yay! What's the most powerful force in the universe?
Friendship.
Friendship. Okay. What did he learn from Doctor Who?
Every life is important.
Humor. Have humor.
And what is a superpower?
Peace and love.
Fear. According to Dr. Who, fear is a superpower. What did Pilar name her universe?
Toastmasters family.
What did Miriam have name her spaceship?
Quasar.
What's Felicia's superpower?
Friendship and peace.
Yeah. I almost said talking to my dog.
Peace and love. Was George a quasar or a kamikaze pilot?
Quasar. It's a quasar.
And that's it. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster or Miss.
George is the wizard of the quasar.
Thank you, Sandy. That was a great quiz master.
I'm scared.
Now I'm going to evaluate the rest of the meeting. And I think we are really the best. This is the best club. For being so new, we've just got it all together, you know? And like Randall said last time, we don't mess around. We don't spend a lot of time. We get business done and we're on time and we're just great. So I don't have anything that I can say that we could do better because we're just great. And now
we can fly.
But it's all right with our Toastmaster, Mr. Oscar. I will just go right on into my next role. Or do you have something you want?
Oh, no, go for it. You are the presiding officer. Please give us additional message.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to hear from our guests. Now, we've got Marina. Unmute yourself and tell us what you thought of this meeting. Or if you have any questions for us.
It was pretty interesting. It was new for me. I guess I understood like I don't speak so good like you are. And you're really great. Yes, I like everything. And I will continue. And I'm glad I joined your club. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Please join us again.
Marina, are you in Florida?
Yes, I'm in Orlando.
Okay.
Florida. Mm-hmm.
Marina, if you can make sure I get your email address, you can just put it in the chat to a private message over to me, and I'll make sure to send you the notification of the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. I will do it.
Marina, Vernutia Snova.
Oh, you can speak Russian a little bit. Good.
A little bit, just a few words.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Randall, I think of you as a member. I mean, you are always here. Do you have anything you want to say?
Well, I do keep showing up, and it's just an easy drive for me. So as a person who is blind, I'm really enjoying this Zoom platform format that I can virtually attend meetings. So I keep going to a lot of meetings, and great theme. The meeting was out of this world, out of the universe, and out of this galaxy. My meeting theme is space travel on Thursday. Hope some of you can make it. But I'll keep coming back as long as we're in this virtual world. I live in St. Augustine, Florida, so it's a bit of a drive to Orlando. Thanks for welcoming me back.
Okay, thank you, Randall. And Joe, this is your second meeting. Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, good meeting. I really enjoyed the speeches. I needed to hear those two speeches. They were very insightful and impactful. The evaluators were good, and I really enjoyed that general evaluation of the meeting and the question and answer back and forth. That was pretty cool. And I would just say that I would ask as a fellow Toastmaster to support Randall and me in our cause to make the Toastmasters website accessible for everybody equally, and it will not only save Toastmasters money in the operating costs of the organization, because they won't have to pay for paper tracking and all that, and the employees and stuff to answer emails and stuff. They can just do it all through the website. So that's what I have to say. And thanks for having me at the meeting. And please add me to your email list so I can get the announcement of your meeting, next meeting.
I'll be sure to do that, Joe. Joe, are you out of Denver, Colorado?
Yeah, I live in the south side of the Denver metro area in Denver, Colorado, and I'm the president of Toastability Toastmasters.
I was in Denver last summer, Joe. It's a beautiful city. I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah, it is a beautiful city. A lot of people realize that. And I am kind of let me see if I can send it. I'm not sure how to do a private chat, but I'll just type it in the main chat and send it to everybody. I don't care.
Okay, it was nice meeting you, Joe. Come back again, please. Same with Randall.
Joe, I can also provide you with George Hazard's email. I have both your emails. I can connect you guys there.
What's that?
Joe, I can copy you on an email to George Hazard, so you have his email that way.
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, thank you all.
And
I
now,
feel
Alicia, you came in late, but would you introduce yourself and unmute yourself and tell us how you like the meeting, all that stuff.
Hello, yes, I came in late because I'm just learning how to get into the 21st century on doing Zoom. So sorry about that. I just got to see the last part of the meeting, and the people that I saw speaking were so enthusiastic and so full of life. I really enjoyed it. I live in Davenport, Florida now. I'm originally from Chicago, so I decided to join Toastmasters again. Several years ago in Chicago, I was part of Metro Talk at my job, and now I wanted to get back into Toastmasters, especially now that I have some extra time. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'd love to see you again at your next meeting.
Okay, thank you, Alicia.
Nice to meet you, Alicia.
Nice to meet you as well.
Alicia, make sure I have your email address. And I am also from Davenport.
Oh, George.
You got a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, did I miss anybody? I don't think so. And you know what? We're 5 minutes early. Well, not really. We're supposed to finish at 7:45, but we had trouble finishing. Oh, we need to do
next week.
meeting.
Yeah, next meeting. So
Well, then that'll take up 5 minutes. So
do we have speakers?
Wait a minute. Next week is Pathways. It'll be John Morrow.
he's going to teach us about pathways, so you all need to be here.
So it'll be mostly that and table topics.
Yeah.
Because he's got 40 minutes. 30 minutes to talk and 20 minutes for questions and answers. So we won't need evaluator for him.
I have a question. How long are your meetings normally?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
This week is this next week is about pathways and how to navigate it. And the week after, Bob Fisher will be here for Free Toast.
Marina, Pathways, or anyone that doesn't know, Pathways is the Toastmasters International way of training us, really. So we go online, get our training through Pathways. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about Pathways.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
And I have a question. How long has your club been chartered?
since February 24th of this year.
Oh, nice. So you're a brand new club.
Yeah,
Well,
and we need 2 more points to be distinguished.
Well, if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out to your local leadership and get a club coach, and they can help with getting members and retaining members and all that good stuff.
We've got 27 now.
27.
Nice. You have a lot more members than we do. So,
Well, the thing is, a lot of people in this area are Disney cast members, or some of Celebration is not all cast members, and the other Disney clubs are corporate. So this is the open one.
oh, okay. But Disney participates with corporate clubs. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they do. There's one at 7 a.m. and one at noon. So we decided that the open one would be at night. So there's morning, noon, and night.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We really think there should be 9 or 10 of them on property because it's so big. But getting sponsorship is the next step.
How many people does Disney employ on their various properties in the Orlando area?
Orlando area?
Yeah, in the Disney World, Epcot, and MGM. And,
Thomas, do you know? I thought
and
it was
whatever property they have.
We're at about 70,000 right now.
Around the world, it's 150,000, but it's 70,000.
Wow.
They're all laid off right now, pretty much. They're starting to go back to work.
And I don't know that much about corporate Toastmasters clubs because I'm an open club. What does the corporation have to do to start the club? Is there a financial?
It's the same process to start the club. The difference is that the only people that can join have to work in that corporation.
Oh, okay.
So like they have to be all Disney cast members. But now that we can Zoom, we're starting to find out that we can get cast members from around the world. They don't have to just be here.
Right.
We've had people from Shanghai come to our meetings.
I would like to invite everybody that wants to stay to keep staying,
going.
chatting, but I'm going to adjourn the official Toastmaster meeting.